And we are back with another episode, and joining me today, Lisa Nicole. How's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. We were talking earlier. You said you're out in BC there, so the fires are clearing up finally for you.
A little bit. So today's been the first blue sky day in a while. So
That's
hope
good.
it keeps up.
Hopefully. Okay, for starters, for some people who don't know, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you come from.
Yeah. So I grew up in the Kootenays. I was born in Grand Forks, small town. Went to music school after high school and moved down to Vancouver. Started writing, networking, did my first CD, and I did that CD with Bill Buckingham, and then I started traveling to Nashville over the last, oh my gosh, 10 years, I guess. And yeah, just working on my songwriting chops, and eventually recorded my second album in 2016. And then I moved down to, I was in Toronto for a while, and I lived in Nashville for a while. That kind of sums up the last 10 years.
Been all over.
In short.
Okay, so you said you went to music school. How did music kind of come into your life? Is it something you grew up on, or is it something you just fell in love with one day and then you continued?
Yeah, my parents mostly just had country music on at CMT on those big old tube TVs. Remember them?
Yes.
In the house, and then always had country music on in the truck, and no one in my family was really musical. There's like no jamming or anything like that.
Right.
So I think it was just my love for music where I just fell in love with it, and I started singing when I was about young. And my first stage performance was at age 9. And then my parents started taking me to jam sessions 3 nights a week all over the Kootenays to different bars.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I was 15 at that time. So I wasn't legal age. So I'd have to either wait outside or wait in the doorway or go wait up in a hotel room and then go on stage, do my thing.
Then you just left right after, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, sometimes I'd hang around because I want to wait to get up and sing more.
Right.
So I'd wait for them to get a few more people up, and then I go back up.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
what was the moment? I feel like those would be the moments like that you really fell in love with and you're like, I want to pursue this
Yeah.
100%. What was that
Yeah,
moment?
yeah, it was definitely around then. And I remember writing in like my journal how I wanted to be famous by the time I was 16. And then when I turned 16, it was like, okay, I want to be famous, a singer by the time I'm 20. Like it was just kind of funny and cute reading back those things. So
Awesome. All right. And next thing, I'm sure you're tired of talking about this, but I, of course, saw online you
yeah.
on stage singing with Keith Urban.
Oh gosh, I'm never tired talking about that.
Tell us how it went down. Tell us your experience with that and what you were feeling in the moment.
Yeah, that was like the best day ever. But so I was down in Nashville, and he was playing a pop-up show, and those are just like kind of word of mouth.
Right.
And so my driver was like, oh yeah, Keith Urban's playing tonight if you want to come down at 12th and Porter, small venue, like 300 people.
Yeah.
And I went down, I had my Come Find Me CD, and so I wrote to Keith in the lineup, wrote on my CD to him, and went to the show. Made my way to the front of the crowd. There's a few ladies that were like elbows up. They're like, "You're not getting through." I was like,
Of course.
I just need to sing with Keith Urban. And yeah, I just waited for a quiet moment, and I was like, Keith, my name's Lisa Nicole. I had my CD, and I just said, I want to sing with you. And he's like, oh, what do you want to sing? And at that time, Fighter was out, the song with Carrie Underwood. But they say in the music industry, you prepare yourself your whole life for moments like that, where you can just get up on the stage with Keith Urban and knock it out of the park, right? And so we were asked as a song that I've been playing in bars for years. So I got up and I said, yeah, this is the song I want to do. And we did it. And it was pretty funny because in the video, you'll notice he actually forgets the words.
That's funny.
He asked the crowd, like, oh, you guys know this part? I guess I just, Lisa, just blowing him away.
Well, that's a moment that's some you wouldn't forget ever.
Yeah, and Nicole Kidman was there. I saw her after the show and chatted with her. And then I was standing outside and I was calling back home. And this girl taps me on my shoulder and she's like, and I turn around and it was Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah.
She's like the main actress on the show Nashville.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then her and I was like, sorry, gotta go, click. And yeah, then her and I chatted for about 10 minutes and she was like, oh my God, you did so great. And it was just really cool.
Awesome. Do a lot of those like pop-up concerts, like private things happen a lot down in
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But they're just random. So you never know when they're going to come. And
Right. Just
yeah.
happens and it is really
Yeah, if they're like home from a tour, that was Keith Urban's case. He was just kind of home and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And, okay. So for someone who may have never heard your music before, how would you describe your sound to them?
So this new album coming out is a little more country pop, even like dancey. Some of the songs like Do Your Thing is super dancey. My last album was definitely more country rock and even the first one. So yeah, I'd say country pop. And this album too, I've wrote all the songs on it. So it's all my own stories and all my own inspirations. And yeah, I'm super pumped about it.
Amazing.
I've got all the, the acoustic, all the country instruments. But this one, it's got just a little bit more of a little more like EDM, not EDM, but just a little more dance mix to it in a few of the songs, which is kind of cool.
Nice. Very cool. And as far as artists go, who would you say inspires you the most?
Well, Shania Twain is a big one.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people say they can hear Shania Twain in my voice. And Miranda Lambert, Carrie Underwood, Mary Morris.
Okay.
Awesome. And Dolly. Yeah.
Oh, nice. And
yeah.
Is there one specific artist that inspires you mostly towards songwriting?
Oh, yeah. That would be Miranda Lambert.
Miranda Lambert?
Mm. And yeah, that's a great question. You don't get that one very often. Yeah. Miranda Lambert for her songwriting, and also Taylor Swift for her songwriting. And then Carrie Underwood, also I love her songs, but her vocals are so powerful.
Yes.
And even like Christina Aguilera, like things like the big powerhouses, Whitney Houston.
I don't know how Christina Aguilera does that raspy.
Gosh.
No, my throat would be gone.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's great.
Awesome. And what would you say, who inspires you mostly for the performing side of everything?
Oh, and then performance. Oh, I'm gonna like go with like Beyonce. Okay. Like someone that puts on like a show.
Yes.
It's just a huge show. Like Miranda Lambert, I've been to her concert, been to Carrie Underwood. Miranda's very singer-songwriter. And it doesn't have a bunch of the big glam stuff. Carrie Underwood also did have really cool shows where, she'd be singing on a vehicle. And I love that whole show part of concerts.
For sure.
So, but I can't dance like Beyonce. So, I mean, I won't go that far.
I'm sure it'll come.
Yeah, who knows?
Okay, let's talk about your single Gypsy Girl.
Yeah.
This one. Tell us about this and how it came together.
Yeah, so I wrote this one down in Nashville. Oh gosh, 2016, I think. So it's crazy, right? How some songs just like stay hidden until you're like, oh, this is the one. Perfect. And I wrote it down with Phil Barton and Brian White, which are two hit songwriters down there. Super lucky to write with them. And we wrote it and demoed it in an hour.
Wow.
So, and that was one song that we really didn't change much when we went to the studio. So it's interesting because my song Count on You, I wrote that one down there and but came back and rewrote it. So it's funny when, certain songs is just like wham, bam. And that was Gypsy Girl. It was just really fast. Yep. It came out exactly how I wanted it. And then Jeff Johnson, my producer, he did a great job. Like he's a musical ninja. And he just brought all the elements to it and made it super fun. I love it.
Awesome. And available on all platforms, obviously?
Yes, it is. And music video is coming very soon.
Perfect.
As well. And
next.
Yeah. And sneak peek, I shot it all over the Kootenays here where I live. And so it's super cool. It's very like road trip vibe and it's super fun. I can't wait.
Cool. And you're saying, so your album and stuff, you wrote all the songs yourself?
Yeah.
Nice.
Co-wrote them.
You co-wrote them. Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you find most of your inspiration when writing?
In the writing room.
Okay.
Like I will jot down like notes and one-liners and things like that on my iPhone. But when you get into a writing room with people and you just start collaborating, it just flows, and that's where I get inspired most.
Perfect. And what's your favorite thing about co-writing?
Probably just that the vibe you get in there and the spark and the flow of, your ideas just melding together, and it's the coolest thing. And then when you get that one line, you're just like, yes, yes! And everyone's just like, that's it, that's the one. Yeah, it's just so energetic. It's just, or you write those, like one of the songs on my album is very sad and heartfelt, and then when you get those lines or those songs written, and it's just like you just want to cry. Yeah.
Or you have those moments of like you bring something to the table and then someone brings another idea with that, and you're just like, oh, that just made it so much better. Or
exactly.
So many,
you're just like working off each other the whole time.
And stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So has there been what's the weirdest, most awkward way you've ever come up with a song? Has there been a moment that you kind of maybe co-writing or even on your own, you're doing something happens and you're kind of like, damn, this was a weird moment, but I'm going to write about it?
I don't know about weird or awkward, but I've definitely had some experiences that I've written pretty truly to.
Okay. On
my last album, Mad About It, which was a cheating song. And I got really mad about it. So in the song, it comes through. But other than that, like, I don't know, like when I'm driving, it's not weird, but when I'm driving, that's where I get a lot of things come to me too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And are you the type of artist that is all voice notes, or do you have a notepad or?
Voice memos and notes on my phone.
Okay.
Fair enough. I'm not much of a handwriter.
I don't think anyone is anymore.
I know. I want to be like, I want an agenda and I want a journal. I bought an agenda the other day, but I just haven't used it yet.
I bet you start using it. It'll be a thing.
Right. That's so funny.
Perfect. What would you say has been the best advice that you've been given in your career up to this point?
There's been a lot of good ones, but one of the really good ones is just to be, I think, kind to everyone that you meet and like respectful, and because you never know when that person 5 years down the road, you're going to need that person, or you're going to need a favor, or they're going to be the CEO of this big record label, or, so I just think being kind and also like authentic and yourself. And that's a big one too, is they always say just to be yourself. Artists are always trying to mold themselves into Carrie Underwood or Miranda Lambert or Taylor Swift, right? And it's hard though. It can be hard to, over the years, you work on it and you find yourself. And at the beginning, it can be hard to know, right? And so I would say, even myself, to artists, young artists, is to just hold off. Like, if you're in your first year, don't put out your first song right away. Just work on your craft and your writing and stuff, because it takes time.
Yeah, absolutely. Patience.
Yeah.
Patience. Yeah. It's okay, cool. You have shows that people can look forward to?
Yeah, I got one coming up. I know it's so weird because you just like, I got this one and this one and this one, but things are still kind of slow rolling, right? So, but I'm doing my CD release party on August 13th here in Rossland.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Love it. And is that the date that the album's coming out?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Yeah. And what else can people expect on this album?
So the album is called Where Wild Hearts Beat.
Yeah.
And I pulled that line. If for anyone has listened to Gypsy Girl, it's a line from Gypsy Girl. And like I wasn't going through a heartbreak on this song, on this album when I was writing it, or a breakup, I guess. And so there's no like cheating breakup songs or anything like that. It's a lot of the songs are really lighthearted and fun, and a couple like love songs like Wait on Me and Count on You that have already been released. And then but I still do have a couple tear jerkers on the song. I have one on there for my mom, and I have one on there. One of my good friends lost her husband, so I have a song kind of about that. And so it's very well rounded, and one of the songs is actually completely acoustic.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm so excited. It's my best work. It's my best.
The acoustic. Yeah. The acoustic stuff is some of my favorite.
I love playing acoustic shows.
Yeah.
I just love the stripped down, and you can just really hear the vocals and the harmonies. And so, yeah.
Well, your last single there, I noticed you did like an acoustic video for it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are like my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Favorite kind of things that's what I look up mostly.
Oh yeah.
Artists online and stuff like that. I love seeing that they do that kind of stuff.
It's just so much more real, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm actually recording an acoustic video for Gypsy Girl today too.
Really? Oh, so you're gonna do it again?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do another one. So it'll be out shortly.
Perfect. Love it. And okay. With the album, the release party, release of these singles, what's next for you?
Well, right now, the album. You know, I also have a podcast, which is called Wild Hearts Podcast.
Okay.
So I work on that quite a bit, and yeah, just the music, the album, singles, and I have the music video. That's pretty much what I've been working on for the last few years, and it's finally coming too.
There you go. And the podcast, what is it? Just music artists? Anybody?
It's so it's a little bit. The first season I did was a few solo things, a lot about the music industry, some behind the scenes things. But I've also brought on guests that from anything from fitness to overcoming oh my gosh, sobriety, PTSD, and like it's kind of a people telling their stories, really.
Yep. And
opening up. And I'm actually also recording one today on a girl with like sexual assault and things like that, and just content warning there. But yeah, so people have actually messaged me and heard some of the podcasts I've done and said, oh, I would love to come on and like speak out about my story. And I'm just like, oh, I would love to do that for you. Like, I'm so happy to be that platform for people.
Awesome.
We did one on like the homeless population. I just like speaking out on subjects that are hard to talk about, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually,
a lot of fun things.
After this, there's a couple artists that are a duo.
Okay.
Who have like the whole trying to prevent sexual abuse to others.
Yeah.
And trying to bring that story in their music and stuff.
Oh, cool.
I should definitely toss them your way for your.
Which group is that?
They're called Genesia.
Okay.
They're a pop duo here in Edmonton.
Oh, okay, amazing.
Yeah, so they'd probably be interested in something like that.
Yeah, I love collaborating with people.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing, for those who don't know, where can they find you on social media?
At Lisa Nicole Music. Everywhere. Easy.
All right, everyone. Go grab her newest single, Gypsy Girl, and stay tuned for the album.
Yes. Thank you, Cody.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. And it was great chatting. Thanks for taking the time.
Yes, thank you.
And keep in touch. We'll chat soon.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Good to see you.